You know, you figured I would have had enough time to do this, which I did. Oh, okay, here we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. All right. All right, out of studio mode. Countdown can disappear because we are going live.
Look at you. You was popping all that good shit a second ago, then you got kicked in your chest.
I just remembered something. I didn't make the transitions between all of the things, so I might just have to do that on the fly, but whatever. Hey, it's 3:10 p.m. Late, as usual. Might as well call us Isaiah. It is Sunday, August 1st, 2021, and this is episode 40 of the Rusty Razor podcast. And that's who we are.
That's it? 40?
40.
Damn. We've been slacking.
Yeah, just a little bit. See, I don't know if you just saw what came on the screen. It was a little,
You know what? I gotta figure this out because I got too many things open.
Too many things open. You need a better computer then.
Well, no. It's not a RAM issue. It's not a computer issue. It's
Listen
a
to
screen
you.
space.
It's not a RAM issue. Motherfucker knows what he's talking about now.
A little bit.
Jesus.
What just came up?
Here, I'll play it again.
My comment or
No. You'll see it under our names. keep watching. Keep in mind there's a delay.
yeah. Oh, sweet. Don't at me, bro. That's good. Yeah, I forgot all about that. There's a delay.
You're like, motherfucker, it's technology. We should be live as it happens. It's like, yeah, sorry, we're still like 8 seconds behind.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do in the future is log in on Facebook on the tablet, and I have like a little keyboard that has a stand integrated, so I can have it off to the side and look at Facebook on the tablet. And
there you go.
My screen. So, yeah, fascinating behind the scenes content here.
Always. I was working on different things to like integrate and of course my desktop audio is going to come over, but whatever. I was working on different things to integrate a chat, and I had to go back to something that I had used before. I was trying to do something a little bit prettier, but it didn't work. So.
Well, I'm still going with the assumption that we have like one listener. So
hey, whatever.
I'm good with that.
All right.
Like your mom and maybe who else? Reverend?
Yeah, probably Dom, unless he's trapped in a basement or trapped in an attic somewhere. He's like the perfect size for what he does for a living.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, me, I'm way too big to do anything like that.
Probably me too. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd just be
So
uncomfortable.
where are the kids?
They are in the... Well, actually, David is in their bedroom. Oliver's in the living room. The broad's gone. She's at work. And, yeah, it's just me, the kids, and the cats.
Nice.
Yeah. As life should be.
Yeah, our plans to go to the beach didn't really work out today. So we were going to go to the beach early in the morning and then get back in time for this and then do this and then, But it's just, and that kind of leads into one of the things I wanted to talk about today, right? About,
oh, shit.
what happened?
No, I accidentally clicked. I clicked on something on purpose, and I forgot that there was something going to be attached to it. And
nice.
We just did a transition from yourself to yourself. So fuck it.
Cool. Double trouble.
Yeah. All right. So by all means, the floor is yours.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's just about figuring things out. I mean, I'm 38 years old, and I think I am part of that generation that had like the or where that whole trend began of extended adolescence, and children are staying home with their parents longer for a variety of reasons, partly cultural, partly lot of other stuff, but definitely, I had an extended adolescence. Had the opportunity to grow up pretty late. But also I was sheltered as a child, and I didn't really experience a lot of things until later in life. So that all plays a part, right? Like I said, I'm 38 years old. I've been, the first time I moved out of my house was to live with, my wife right now. So I'm like, and that was what, like maybe 2 years ago. So we're talking about 36-year-old male that is having his first experience as far as living with somebody else, and being put in a position where you really have to grow because there's no other option. You know, um, went from living living either by myself or with my severely mentally ill sister that has a lot of awful habits and a really really bad situation to living with with my now wife and got a 12-year-old and then once Corona hit our 19-year-old had to come back from college because he had to do virtual school. So he's with us here now too, and has been for the past year or so. And then there's positives and negatives to that. I mean, we have all four of us here, but it also gave us an opportunity to bond better and kind of understand each other better and kind of become more of a family unit with all four of us. Even though Max is away at college and doing that whole thing. So I mean, it's been a blessing, and it's also been a crazy time just because it didn't really require to work in the medical field or adjacent to the medical field. So yeah, it's been kind of stressful and everything, and so the sprawling things, sprawling conversation as we normally do. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's been really interesting having to grow and having to compromise and having to have things different, different from. I mean, I think this is what everybody goes through the first time they move out, or the first time they have to engage with the world at large, I suppose, and have adult relationships and profound relationships. You got to put yourself out there, right? There's risk involved with all of that, and unfortunately, sometimes you get burned. But if you don't, it kind of becomes this ongoing thing, this ongoing negotiation that you're always maneuvering and also trying to be cool, we all have that competitive thing. We all have that challenge of, at least I think we all have that challenge of wanting to be right, wanting to win, wanting to have a competition, and then engaging with that and realizing that it's not a competition and we're trying to get to the same place, and a lot of times we're just getting it our own way. And that's all. I mean, that's all. That's all the plus and the negative, and that's all just that comes with that whole situation. So I mean, I think I'm just approaching it from it's a new experience, and then I've had some time to reflect on it now. So it's fucking weird. it's the most common and banal, like everyday thing, and at the same time, it's this incredible, mind-blowing experience where I get to be part of these children's lives, and I get to do the dad things and be a part of a family and be a part of a relatively well-functioning family, which is awesome, and challenging, but it's been a hell of an experience. And I realize not everybody gets an experience like mine, so I don't know. I think the big thing for me is I don't know how this happened. Like I don't feel like I did things right. I tried my best, and I don't know how this happened. Like this just happened. But yeah, I don't know. Random thoughts. What do you think?
And that's episode 40 of the Rusty Rate. No. I mean, I've known for many years that everyone's life experiences are different. And oops, realized my watch was shining at the camera. And yes, people, every person in some fashion or another is competitive by nature. And guys especially are always about bigger, better, faster, whatever in everything, whether it be I'm taller or I've lost more weight or I'm better looking or my dick's bigger, or even simple shit like I went through this or I didn't go through that. Perfect example, I'm not going to drop any names, but someone who I used to know very well has a brother who, anytime there was a story told, the brother would jump in and basically would start off with, and we called him a one-upper. And yes, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And
I don't recall exactly who you're talking about, but I've met a couple of variations of this person.
Yeah, so, basically anytime this person would start, doing their one-up thing, one of us, either my friend's wife or myself, would play the one-up jingle from Mario Brothers. Just to signal that person, like, hey, you're one-upping.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they get the message, or did they
Fuck no, they didn't.
That's the problem.
Fucking idiot.
You can't be subtle, you know.
I mean, we're talking about a person who proposed to his now wife at his brother's birthday.
Wow, impressive. Impressive lack of awareness.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Anyway, so I have had many, many, many traits of mine. My keyboard missing something? Anyway, on the fly shit.
Yeah.
I have been very guilty, and self-admittedly so, of a lot of acts that I hate. One-upping. I stopped that. I stopped that for the most part many years ago. Another one is always needing to feel like I won. As soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah. Because of certain things. Full disclosure, Primo sent me his notes, and I reviewed them last night, and only one topic I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it just because I live it. So I really don't want to talk about it right now anyway. Because it could, like, I have no problem saying this. I talked about that subject while you and I and your family were eating dinner, and I felt myself start to just really tense up and get into that place where I really don't want to be, especially when I'm on vacation. I'm hanging out with someone, and by the way, I watched the entire last episode because I wanted to fucking nitpick it, and I kept saying that I hadn't been to Mexico in a decade, and that's a lie. I forgot I moved to the cheese house in 2015.
Oh.
But you and I haven't had tacos in Mexico in about a decade. So that part holds true.
Yeah. I mean, splitting hairs at this
point. I might as well call it a decade. 1 year, 5 years, whatever. But yeah, so the constant need to win, like, or in my case, the constant need to have the last word and make sure that you have the final last word, that you've come off as the supreme being. I'm still guilty of that to this fucking moment, but in my situation, I have learned that sometimes it is better to just, like, you know what, you don't need to have the last word. Let them have it. And someone that we both at least used to know, there was a situation where this person was led to believe that I had released some information, so to speak, about this person's intimate and personal details. And the fact that is I hadn't. But I'd come to the point in that conversation. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna let them believe it. You need a bad guy in this situation, and I will be your bad guy.
Huh.
And then a few years later, I spoke with this person again, told them what really happened, and made them feel really bad about it. And they're like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "You needed a bad person in that situation." And I was done fighting a pointless argument. I do it in my daily life. I've been doing it in my daily life since May 24th, 2012. And there's just like, I have so much bullshit in the daily scheme of things, and it's not all bad. It's really not all bad. A lot of it is. A lot of it is very toxic. But you know, when you deal with, and that's one of the reasons I won't talk about it. It seems like I'm kind of easing into it, even though I'm not going to talk about it. That's one reason I don't want to talk about it, is because I already deal with it every day.
Yeah. So today in tech.
Right. But so let's go back to what you were saying about not necessarily growing up late, because I don't have that experience. I had to grow up early.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's not bad, and it's why I'll never judge. I'll never judge a person for doing that, as long as they're trying to make something of themselves. I mean, hey, if you can better yourself, if you can be a contributing member of society, if you can try and better yourself, and hey, your living situation works for you, where you are still living with whoever, wherever, great. You have more money, make it work. And someone that I know very dearly, and I'm pretty sure you've met, still lives at home. He has a great situation. It's only him and his mom in a very large house. And it's like, well, if you don't need to move out, why? And it's like, if he moves out, then his mom's got this huge fucking giant house to herself. It's like, that might be more bad than good.
Exactly.
So I would never judge a person on their circumstances, as long as they're still trying to contribute to being a better person, or putting something out in the world. And I'm not even saying like, I'm just saying work, take care of yourself, not just to be a fucking loaf around the house 24/7. And loaf is my favorite word to describe a lazy person. Tina fucking mentioned it once. She's like, "I'm being a loaf." I'm like, I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. It's just like a fat, like a French loaf of bread, just fat and plump.
You fat ass baguette, you useless fucking baguette.
Fucking baguette. I think Gordon Ramsay calls people that.
I'm an idiot sandwich.
Yes. That's the best one.
What are you? And if you've never seen the video of Gordon Ramsay, someone basically spliced in Gordon Ramsay's normal rants and raves and spliced it into, what is it, like Junior Master Chef, so the one where he's with the kids.
Oh, with the kids. Oh my God, I gotta show the family that, because they love that stuff.
Yeah, you find the one where someone spliced in Gordon Ramsay's actual ramblings while he's talking to the kids.
Because he goes easy on the kids.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I mean, the regular show.
Yeah. All right, so So Tina is only the second woman I've ever lived with. The first one, it was all right until it wasn't, which is a I don't know if it's the the title of the album, but I know it's a track on Unicron's CD. It's All Good Till It Ain't.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's the only CD that's ever been in my truck, basically, because I don't use CDs. But yeah, you know, it's good until it's not. And that's what my situation is now. You know, it seems fine until it isn't. Or, you know, he's just a friend until he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, yeah, Biz Marquis, the fucking person who wrote the anthem of my marriage, died.
Rip Biz. It's a sign from the heavens.
Yeah, fucking he wrote the anthem of my marriage. You know, he's just a friend. Anyway. So, when I lived with the woman the first time, it was interesting. But it wasn't really too far off the normal until, like, one of the reasons we broke up, and and this is where I say fucking, you know, women lie when they say they always want the truth, which is bullshit. They want the truth as long as it works for them. I'm sorry if that sounds makes me sound sexist, but hear my story out. Marzell was in town. Tommy was there. Our friend Mexico was there, and we were all going to go down to TJ. And I asked my then girlfriend, bring Primo's volume up a little. Go ahead and talk into the microphone, Primo. Let's see if that improved any.
Fuck, I hate when you put me on the spot like this. My brain
See, very good. That's all you need to do is say something.
Right out. Okay, say something.
Okay, there. Tell me if that's better, Dom. Anyway, so I told her, hey, we're going to go down to Mexico. You want to go with? And she's like, no, I'm going to stay here. And then I told her what we were going to do. I said, we're going to go down. We're going to eat some tacos. We're going to go to a strip club. And then we're probably going to eat some more tacos. They'll probably be drunk, and I'm going to drive them all back. Okay, have fun. So, you sure it's okay? Yeah, no problem. Next fucking morning, we got home at like 5:30 in the morning. She gets up at 7. Better, but still a little low. You know what? It's part of the. Here, let me bring that up a little bit. Go ahead and say. There you go. You're much louder now.
Did you wake up to her sniffing your crotch?
No, fucking. She didn't. Like, she woke up at 7. She woke up at 7 to get ready for work. And she was just like kind of just grumpy and brumpy around the house. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? Nothing. Bullshit.
Oh, boy.
Bullshit. What's wrong? And then she's like, well, you know, you went to a strip. I told you exactly what we were doing.
No.
It's like, I'm not going to fuck around on you. I'm going to a strip club for their benefit to make sure they don't end up dead and drunk on fucking Revolucion. So,
yeah. That's a tough conversation.
yeah, so she got really fucking pissed off about that. And then it just...
But I feel like you offered to let her go also, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you kind of covered your ass pretty much.
Not only did I... Hey, you want to go? Okay, this is what you're doing. You want to go? You know, you want to sit there and make sure I don't do something? Cool, fine. I'm not going to do anything anyway. I'm not going to take it personally, you know. I grew up in a fucking family of women who outnumber men 8-1, all right? There was 20 years between boys in my family. And now my generation has my 2, Tamara's 2, Krista's 1, Jessica's 1, Sam's 1. So now the boys in my generation are now 7-2 instead of women 8-1.
Wow.
Yeah, so we like when Tina was pregnant, he's like, "Oh, it's a boy." It's like, "Oh, it ain't mine." It's like, I know my family's cursed. We have girls. It was the 21st century before a boy was born in my family. But no.
Wow.
But then she's like, and I have a friend who will not be named because she actually might be listening. She would be his girlfriend. They were together, living together, and then they weren't living together. And she wanted to, I'm going back to my situation. my girlfriend, she wanted us to move out of the place we were in and live separately again. It's like, okay, the two things I hate most in life are job interviews and moving. So if I'm moving and we're not in another place together, we're not together. And
seems like it. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure there's a larger conversation there.
Well, yeah, there was, but the plain and simple fact is I fucking hate the act of moving. I hate having to gather all my belongings and move it to a different space.
And that's like getting demoted at work or like
right.
pay cut.
Right. It's like, oh, you want to move in with one of your girl roommates, so now I gotta fucking just come over at a time, put the dick to you when it's convenient for you, and they're not listening. No, I'm good. No. But I mean, it was interesting. That
was young Dave.
Yeah, it was interesting, and that was when I was 24. Jack Bauer.
That's that story checks out at a 24-year-old level of relationship.
Right, and I keep in mind I didn't move in with another woman until I was 32.
Yeah.
And played it a lot smarter in some aspects and got screwed in a lot of other ones, but that's a different way to be. Yeah, that's for episodes 43 through 50. I see my cats. Oh, there's Reese's. Hello, girl. But yeah. Women, they,
But what blows my mind is that, we're having this conversation and it's very highly specific situations. There's a lot of stuff that carries over and stuff that doesn't. And then, if you got to imagine, man, if you just zoom out, I mean, every house on your block, or just about every house on your block, someone has a similar or is going through a situation. You zoom out further, everybody in your city, everybody in your country. I mean, human beings. Like, it blows my mind that this incredible, unique fusion between two human beings is just happening all over the world. And it's crazy that it's such a huge part of what occupies our time as human beings.
Yeah. And
cool.
Yeah, as you were alluding to earlier, it's one of the most common things in the general human, existence.
I guess.
And you jumped into that part a little bit later than most.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, even if you're as well prepared as you can be, it's still a challenge.
Yeah.
There is no preparing for it.
You think you're prepared, but there's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the few, and it's not universal, but it's almost universal to human beings. It's something that no matter what class or race or anything that separates us, that we're all kind of going to have some kind of experience like that.
Yeah.
Again, not all of us, not 100%. There are asexual people. There are people that, for whatever reasons, obesity, isolation,
obese,
and all that stuff.
If you're fat, you're not going to be happy. And I guess when we talk about happiness, we talk about how unhappy we are. So maybe the fat people who don't get to have those relationships are better off.
Well, I don't think it. That's a complicated situation, I'm sure. So yeah, cool shit, weird shit. It's all part of being human. And, you just kind of get your way through it. And there's no, I mean, you just do your best and hope for the best.
Yeah. And sometimes it works, and sometimes, it doesn't.
Well, sure. I mean, how many shitty relationships did I go through to get to this point?
Yeah. How many shitty relationships? Oh wait, well, yeah, we won't go there. So going back to where we left off the last time.
Yeah.
I ended up bleeding out on my kitchen floor quite a bit. I ended up bleeding out on my media room floor quite a bit. In fact, right behind me, Tina actually did a fairly good job of cleaning it up. But
this was after you came back from the hospital and you were like,
yes,
great, everything's good. Okay.
Yeah, this is after I came back from the hospital. I'm not bedridden. I'm just, you're not on your feet. You're hopping around. You're using your knee scooter.
And you're not doing bariatric treatment anymore, right?
No.
If I remember correctly, you had done the last one right after.
Right, you're actually jumping ahead in the story.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. So I bled out on the kitchen floor. I bled out on the couch behind me. And my first day of bariatric treatment, after I got out of the tank, I bled out on the floor there. So I had 3 more emergency room visits. I had 2 more surgeries. And it's like, yeah, okay. So finally,
How much blood are we talking? I mean, like, do you need to be like you're gonna pass out if you don't figure it out soon, or what are we talking?
here's the thing. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that because it brings me back to the first part of that story. So the first day it happened, we called an ambulance. They came, they picked me up, they took me to Bristol Hospital. They had to basically. I lost so much blood in the ambulance, they had to hose it out. I lost so much blood while I was in the ER that they basically had me in my own little area and had like blankets and towels and all sorts of just crap going on. They actually had to go to the operating room to get this stuff called Surgicel and pack my open wound with it, which stopped.
Is that the stuff that artificially clots or
Yes. Yes.
whatever? Okay.
They shoved that in there, and it actually worked. And it worked for about another 11 days until I had my second bleed out, and then my third bleed out. And 2 days later, I had my fourth bleed out on the I just got out of the tank, and the guy who was running it, he's like, "Hey, is everything all right?" And I look down, and I'm like, "I need a nurse. My yellow sock just turned orange." So Tina's on her way to come get me. I said, "I think you're taking me to the ER." And so she comes and picks me up, and the nurse, Sue, loved that lady. I need to go back and visit her. She was talking to my doctor, Dr. Beleza, and Dr. Beleza says, "Tell him to go to the ER. Tell him he's going to be admitted, and we will be doing surgery in the morning." So it's like, okay. So what they actually had to call a vascular surgeon because my doctor had never seen anything like this. Out of this open wound, I had down there, it's called a digital artery. I had that exposed, and they can basically, it was very visible that the pulsing of this artery was matching my heartbeat. And that's exactly what they said. They said, "Wow." And they're like, "Yeah, this is like a 1 in a million chance." And my doctor's like, "It's actually kind of impressive that this is happening." He's like, "I've never seen anything like it." And the vascular surgeon's like, "Yeah, neither have I." And they're like, "Okay, let's see what we can do." They went in. They were able to. They didn't cauterize the wound. They still had to leave it open, but they tied off the digital artery.
Wait a minute. That's a legitimate medical procedure. Cauterize.
Well, they were thinking about it and they couldn't.
Okay, because cauterize is when they take the hot iron and they burn the wound shut, right?
If they cauterize the wound, my days in the tank were done after session 1.
Because it sounds like old timey medicine, like Civil War era medicine.
Well, thankfully that didn't happen. They were able to stitch the artery, and that was that. My bleeding was done. I continued. I asked my doctor, I said, "Does this put me back at step 0?" And he's like, "No, just continue with the hyperbarics." So once my bleeding was done, then the healing actually really progressed a lot further.
Okay. Yeah.
And so at day 45, which was it is 66. Boom, boom. June 30th, I was cleared to walk. So for the first time in 45 days, I was able to put weight on my right foot, which I had not done at all in the previous 45 days. I like, because even everyone at the bariatric or the wound care clinic, they're like, "You're the only person we've seen who doesn't cheat." Everyone, like, they tell you to stay off your feet, and they'll plant their foot, or they'll just kind of drag it across the floor. You're the only person we've seen who hasn't touched that right foot to the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I want to heal. You know, I'm a very viciously independent person, and the fact that my wife, who is really not my favorite person in the world right now, I'm having to rely on her for shit, really pisses me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another story for another episode.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
the first bleed out when I went to the hospital, we will skip all the gory details.
Sure.
So, I was in the ER. The day of the first bleed out, I was in the ER for 5.5 hours. They put the Surgicel in there. They iced the back of my knee, and they had me elevate it for an hour and a half. And they checked on it, and they said everything's fine. So it's like, okay, cool. And so Tina comes and picks me up, and I'm on the knee scooter going, pushing my way to the car, and I'm feeling really lightheaded. And I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm going to take this really slowly when I get up and get in the car.
Yeah.
So I did. And basically I've got the oh shit bar, and I got my head down. And I do that often when I have like a migraine. I had no pain in my head. I'm just doing that because it's like, wow, this is some work to keep my head up right now. We get back here, and the distance between where she parks her car and the door is not that far. But mind you, I can't walk. This is before I was cleared to walk. So she's got the knee scooter, and I go to get up out of the car, and I stand up. And I laugh because, going through my mind was something, and I'll tell you in a minute. But she's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "No. I think I need to sit back down." Now, keep in mind, it's like 1 a.m. now.
Jesus.
So I'm like, "No, I need to sit back down." But I'm like, "Okay, you know what? No, if I sit back down, I'm sleeping in the car because I'm not gonna have enough get up to try and get up again."
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking, okay, Tina can sit there and help me all she wants, but if I go to the ground, I don't care how strong she is, she's not picking my ass up. I'm still 255. She is not. And I am a very big 255. I'm not like, hey, it's a sack of flour that weighs 255 pounds. I'm a very large human being. And she's not going to be able to pick me up. More importantly than that, if she could pick me up, she couldn't pick me up while keeping my right foot off the ground.
I don't think she could even drag you.
No. And so I'm like, whatever. So I stood up, and my head, I mean, I've had concussions galore and lost consciousness and all sorts of things. For the first time as an adult, I uttered the words to her, "I am afraid." And as soon as I said that to her, and I meant every word of it, I looked at her and said, "I'm afraid." I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to fall. I'm afraid I'm not going to make it to the door. Shit, we still got to make it to the door, and I've got 2 steps to negotiate once I get to the door.
Yeah.
But as soon as I said the words to her, I said, "I'm afraid." In my mind, I'm like, "Tengo miedo, tengo miedo." So I'm like, no, we'll just push through it. I got to get inside. So she stood next to me. I got on the knee scooter, got all the way to the door, and then negotiated the stairs. And I'm like, okay, once I did that, I went in, sat down on the chair behind me, and she's like, "You should probably eat something." I said, "I think you're right." So she got me some peanut butter and toasted crackers, and I ate those, and I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Hopefully not waking up to my foot being, red.
Yeah.
So,
or on the ground,
Right. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah. So all the trials and tribulations through that. Finally on July 21st, which was 2 days after the last time we recorded. Hello, David.
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
I'm just having a better dream.
Oh, you took a nap?
Yeah.
And I take a nap too.
Okay. What was your dream, David?
I saw a ball of lightning.
You saw a ball of lightning?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me too. And the funnest story just get me all the way in. Hey.
What? Listen to me. There is a bad weather out there. The school will start on August 16th.
David, you don't start school till August 30th. No, Oliver starts school on August 30th. You don't start school till like September 5th.
Oh.
Okay,
Silly me.
guys, go play.
Okay. We'll go play.
You behave, all right?
Alright.
No. Cute little guys.
So I finally got the all clear on July 21st that, hey, no more tank, no more nothing. I go see my primary physician in 2 weeks for a physical. I go back to my surgeon September the 3rd for a follow up with him. He just wants to make sure that everything's all right. And so yeah, it was it only lasted 66 days, but it was a long fucking 66 days. Yep.
Right. So where are we now? Like, what? I mean, do you have any pain? Do you have any side effects still, or you just have a normalized foot?
No, it's like the side effect. I mean, I'm not gonna throw my foot up to the camera.
Right. No, I don't. I
It's not bad. It's not bad. Trust me, it's not bad at all right now. But you could tell if you were to look at the bottom of my big toe, you could tell that I've got a lot of tissue that's no longer there. I've got like,
Okay.
a dent.
You got a dent.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Basically.
You old dent-footed fool.
But
You're fucked up. You're just gonna be known as Deadfoot from now on.
but yeah, I'm fine. It's like if I'm on my feet for a few hours and I'm doing really like, because putting away product at my work involves usually everything's in a case, and each case weighs about 45 pounds, and I've got to take a case from a pallet up a step ladder 7 feet and find a place for it, and rinse and repeat, and doing that with 2-3 pallets at a time. And by the way, I'm the only one here.
Yeah.
So I unloaded like 2 pallets the other day, and I'm like, all right, cool. And not to mention, it's hot as fuck. So I'm unloading the pallets, and everything's fine, everything's good. And like, I unloaded the last case of the last pallet, and I put it up there. Came up down off the step ladder, and I'm like, all right, cool. I went to go take the first step, and it's like, and I'm like, ooh, I need to go take a break. I'm gonna go sit down for a few. It feels like
no broken skin, no wound, no nothing.
No, I've got actually no. Fuck it.
Okay, that's not that bad.
No.
Looks like a bad bruise.
Actually, that. See, because the area that was affected was basically right in here. I mean, it did kind of go up here, but it's basically just this big toe right here.
Yep.
The wound originally started here, and actually blew out this end of the toe. The picture that your wife doesn't like was basically the other end of the toe.
Yeah, it's like when you put a brat on the grill and it bursts.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
Yeah.
It got septic, it got pressurized, and it blew out the other end.
Yeah.
So
what's the deal on preventing that from happening ever again?
Make sure my fucking blood sugars, are decent numbers. And if I have any wound on my foot, I call the wound care center.
Yep.
Because it started off as a wound that I let go for a couple months, and it turned bad, and it could have turned out much worse than it did.
Yeah. So, you got to take your meds and whatnot?
Yeah, I take insulin shots 4 times a day now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, before every meal and once before bed.
Yeah.
Got to keep that up. Like I said on the last time we recorded, I'm actually getting some pain sensation back in my foot.
Oh, wow.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the insulin is because I know there's a type of insulin that's like, we're gonna do this for a while and it'll get better, and then there's insulin that you're on for life, right?
Well, I'm on 2 different types of insulin right now. One is called a fast acting. That's the one I take 3 times a day before every meal. And one's a slow acting, which basically kind of releases itself over 24-hour period.
Yeah. Cool.
Could I get off of insulin in the future? Yes. But that's not the plan at the moment.
Right.
My whole thing is, now that I'm on it, the fear's gone. That was always a fear of me having to give myself shots. Now I do. And
do you have the little micro needle injectors? Like
yeah,
you dial up a dose.
Yeah, exactly. I have the pens, and I've actually got.
I mean, it's not as.
No, it's not. It's not like it's not like taking your own. Taking it and filling the needle yourself. Because I mean, I could probably do that now. I could probably do that now. I'd rather not.
I think the psychological aspect is huge between the hypodermic and that.
Yeah. But at the hospital, that's what they have is the hypodermics. And they were making me give myself the shots to get myself acclimated to it.
Shit. Oh, boy.
So
you went through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not just the physical, but the behavioral, psychological, and the...
Yeah, let's...
And having to do... You have to do this, that's not an option.
Right. You've gone past the point of no return. Here's your fucking prize. And it was an experience. It was a definite wake-up call. And a lot of things happened during this experience that, well, again, is another story for another time.
When it rains, it pours, huh?
Yeah. Like I said, it was 66 days from 66 days from hospitalization to you're healed. But it was a long and trying 66 days.
Especially for someone like you that is, like you said, independent, handle a lot of shit and like to run around and be, especially with the kids. I imagine that was tough,
Yeah, it's like, they're like, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? It's like, guys, I can't even walk. I can't drive. They're like, is your truck broken? I said, no, Daddy's broken.
Oh, man.
I wish I could get this out. You know what? Fucking here. I'll just do this. I'll take my hip.
You're gonna dose yourself?
Well, I'm not gonna dose myself, but I'm gonna grab a pen and I'm gonna show you exactly how big the needle is. It's not at all. So hold on.
Okay.
Because they're literally right behind me.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, again, can't imagine anyone's listening, but in case you are, I got a new tablet, so there's that. So if you're listening also, you're now aware of the wonderful secret that I am trash solo. Can't really do much on my own, especially not this soon after starting podcasting again. I think the last time when we were podcasting, we were doing it regularly enough that it felt like it would become a thing, and we had, I don't know how many listeners we had. Oh, shit.
That's for you.
That thing's tiny. That's tiny.
Yeah. And that's for them. So, mind you, I didn't know how big the pen was until I got out of the hospital. And in the hospital, they were giving me the hypodermic needle and saying, "Here you go. You gotta get this, done." And so I got used to that, and I get used to it to where it was the point it was nothing. And then they send me home. Now I'm on these pens. It's like, oh wow, this really is nothing.
It's like a splinter, right?
Sometimes if you inject, like if you end up hitting like a fucking nerve, it hurts. Yeah. I'm not gonna fucking try and brave my way out of that. It burns like a motherfucker. I mean, I'll sit there.
Yeah.
I'll hit it myself, and I'm like,
Now, does the insulin or has it or will it help at all with weight regulation or any of that? Because what weight are you at right now?
255.
255. This is fucking travesty. You weigh less than I do. I gotta get on it. For your height and you know you carry a lot of weight in your feet. I know that. So yeah, that's nuts. No, but does the insulin help with that? Or is it just sugar?
Yeah, it's just with the blood sugar. I mean, they do have different types of insulin related things that could help you lose weight.
Yeah.
But I don't need help with that right now.
Yeah.
You know, could I weigh less? Sure.
I think that's a reasonable weight for you, right?
Considering that most of our friendship, I was in the low to mid 3s.
Yeah. So I mean,
What's up, buddy?
I'm here.
I see that.
What's up, Primo?
Hey,
buddy.
do you see?
hear me?
Look at his
Can't
shirt.
hear me,
Look, he can't hear you. Look at his shirt.
Oh, what? It's a podcast I listen to.
You see his shirt?
Doing, buddy? Is Animal Crossing big at your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Animal Crossing here, huh?
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Nook's got him doing slave labor right now.
Excuse me.
It's Animal Crossing and what is that other game where the dances? Fortnite.
Ah.
That's still big here, and then Halo.
These boys are on the different iterations, the little mini games on Roblox,
I thought you
and
okay.
we have that pretty locked down to where it's like, okay, we know what they're playing, and nothing.
What about Minecraft?
I
Kind of the same thing.
No, I don't know. I think he'd kind of be into it, but I mean, I honestly don't know how to play Minecraft myself, so I've never done it. Like, and someone told me, oh yeah, well, Minecraft is like digital Legos. Until Lego released a Minecraft kit, I'm like, well, how do you get digital Legos if Lego's releasing a kit for it now? But
That's 2021. Everything's meta.
yeah. But David, you know, he plays a lot of the Mario games. He beat Mario Odyssey.
Wow, what? I
Yeah.
didn't even beat that game.
Yeah, he knows how to beat Mario Odyssey now. Him and his brother play Mario Kart. And then David's.
Oh, but yeah. We have Mario Kart too. The Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then David's really getting into superheroes now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's into Flash and Green Arrow and
Yeah. Oh, dude. Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Yeah, that's cool. He's a DC fella.
yeah. Yeah, he's
That's
also
awesome.
I'm trying to convert him over to being a Marvel person too, but he's a big fan. He's a big fan of the TV shows, so it's like, okay. And
Yeah.
he finally found out something cool. He didn't know this. I said, hey, okay. In fact, here, David, come here. Come here, right here.
Hello,
What's Green Arrow's real name?
Oliver Queen.
Very good. And who is named after Oliver Queen?
Arrow does.
Okay. Oh, I told him the other day. I said, "Hey, your brother is named after Oliver Queen."
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, that's why his name is Oliver."
Mm-hmm.
And then one of these days, I'll tell him that he was just named after a prick.
A very large-footed man.
But speaking
a
of
large-footed space cowboy.
speaking of see a space cowboy. So speaking of asshole things that I do,
Yeah.
let's see, what was it? Tina painted the bathroom a couple weeks back,
Okay.
and she painted it a color called red wine.
Red,
Ooh,
red.
boy.
Yeah. Well, she left a little bit of a mess on the bathroom floor. No big thing.
Okay.
She does majority of the cleaning here. And so if she's gonna make a mess, she'll be the one that ends up cleaning it. Okay, fine.
And I love recording.
Yes, David.
Yeah.
So she left a little bit of a mess on there, and I was using the bathroom, and I looked, and I'm like,
You had your first period?
no, but no, even worse. I said this will pass. So you might have seen the picture. I took a picture of it. Said, "Oh, here we go again." And my mom took it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh no!
So she calls me the next day, and she says, "So how's your foot?" I said, "Well, I'll find out later. I'm pretty much going to lose something now because doctor told me the infection spread all the way up to the calf. So I go in for surgery tonight." And I drug her on for a solid 5 minutes. And I kind of heard her voice. I kind of heard her voice crack, and she's like, "Are you being serious?" I said, "No." she's like, and I totally got it from her. She's like, "You motherfucker!" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like,
by the way, is she listening right now?
She might be, but if she is, she's not in the chat room.
That's funny.
But she's like, "So is your foot fine?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, that was paint." But yeah, I basically told her I was losing my foot because this infection spread all the way up to the calf.
I mean, you could have played it up, right? Like every 5 minutes, or like, oh, now they're saying it's got to go at the knee and now at the thigh.
And now they're saying they're taking everything from the neck down. I'm just going to be a big old floating head.
Yeah,
Mars Attack style.
Oh, Mars Attack. There you go. Fucking, I think that movie was added to Netflix, I think, recently, and I tried to watch it. Horrible fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the art direction and all that. I mean, the photography, the design, the character design is iconic and beautiful, but story-wise. And
don't watch it for the story.
But the thing is, when I very first watched it, I was a little kid, and I remember it being a good movie, and so I tried to watch it now, and it's just disappointing.
I mean, that's like people trying to watch Forbidden Zone for the story.
What the fuck is Forbidden Zone?
Forbidden Zone. That's the movie that Oingo Boingo put out in the late 70s.
I didn't know Oingo Boingo put out a movie.
Dude, it's fucking. It's like it's as much of a sound collision of fucking visual sound collision as the Mars Volta, right?
Oh wow!
It's like
nice.
what? It's like what the fuck? Bing.
What's it called?
The Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gotta Google that and check it out.
Okay. All right.
Not
so
right now, obviously, but.
yeah. So I do have the list of things that you made notes of, and so far we've covered the first.
Only took an hour.
And David is showing us his fruit. All right, so the eviction moratorium expired. The federal one expired today.
Yeah, which is interesting. I actually work in a field that is related to, like I said, the medical field, and so we deal with a lot of this. So just anticipating higher numbers of people needing assistance right now, it's crazy. I mean, they delayed that rent the whole time, over the past year or so. And then now that it expires, it's like, well, we don't have time. So it should be interesting. I mean, I don't know how high the numbers are going to go, but it should be interesting to see if they get any kind of resolution on it, or it could be like a second coming of I forget what they called it, right? But I believe it was in the 70s when Ronald Reagan passed some law that changed the structure of the mental health system, and so a lot of people that needed, like, had schizophrenia and needed to be most likely held either for long periods of time or for indefinitely for their entire lives, were released out onto the streets, and that actually is a huge part of what forms our current population of homeless people, right? The whole Los Angeles Skid Row thing is a direct, product of that.
Goddamn Republicans.
Those regulations. I think it was Reagan. I'm not 100% sure. Like anything else on this.
Well,
podcast,
if it was Reagan, it wasn't in the 70s because Reagan's presidential term was 81 to 89.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I need fact checking, of course. This is by no means is this a historical podcast.
Yeah.
This is the Talking Shit podcast, not the actual factual podcast. So yeah, but whenever that was, that was, it could be a second coming of that, right? If we have a whole other homelessness boom because of these massive evictions. And then it's like, once you are evicted and you do find yourself on the street, getting back to a place where you are able to have agency over your own life and get back on your feet. I mean, that's a brutal and incredibly difficult process.
Let's share.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just an odd time in this country right now, and the pandemic is affecting a lot of different people at a lot of different levels. I don't know. I mean, I've been fortunate enough that if anything, my job has gotten more busy and more stressful. And,
right.
The demand is absolutely there for our services. I don't know. I just think it's an odd time in this country, and as always, there's always something shaking and baking in this country, and it's always. Lately, it's been depressing, but I think it's interesting. I try to be a little bit detached from what's happening, because I do love this country for all its issues and problems and all the horrible things that happen here. A lot of cool shit happens too. So I think it's just a weird time in our country. How do you feel about like the national air, I guess, or the? Well, I mean, the interesting thing too is I live in San Diego, California. The rest of the world views California a lot differently than we view ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're in Connecticut, which is its own interesting kind of history and cultural tradition, being one of the East Coast, and being on the East Coast and being one of the earlier states and colonies.
Well, the funny thing tying into that is, I actually had to make a delivery, and this is going to sound so foreign to you, but I had to make a delivery to Massachusetts the other day.
Okay.
And Massachusetts is basically 45. The state line's about 45 minutes from here. So we went up to Massachusetts. Oh, wow. I took Tina and these kids with me. Damn kids. No. And we made a drop off. We made a delivery, and Tina's like, wow, it'd probably be nice to live here, not having to worry about, because Connecticut, I'm pretty sure basically 1, 2, 3 of, the most liberal Democratic states would be California, New York, and Connecticut.
But Connecticut is surrounded by all these.
Yeah, but well, New York is Democratic. Rhode Island is Democratic.
Well, but New York is Democratic, like by the skin of their teeth. There's so much history and tradition, I think, in New York that things change slowly. So even
David,
if they are,
I'm busy, buddy.
Sorry.
But our Uncle Ned, which is what I call our governor, his name's Ned Lamont.
Yeah.
He is basically as democratic as Andrew Don't Touch Me Cuomo and fucking don't tell me.
Don't touch me, Cuomo. Well, whatever happened with that? Did he have any consequences at all?
No.
No, he didn't step down.
He didn't step down. He said he wasn't going to, and I don't think it's progressed any further. But I think it's like still an active investigation. But you know what? It's like, oh, hey, he's getting accused for all these people. Let's bring out the Delta variant.
Yeah, fair.
But and you guys
focus on other things.
You guys and Gavin Newsom, oof! I can't wait till September to see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's why they're not pushing for vaccination passports and having to present your card. And if you went all in on that as a Democratic governor and running for re-election, there's no way he would get re-elected.
Right. But he's facing recall in a few weeks here.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's a hot mess. Yeah, it's a hot mess no matter how you cut it, really.
Yeah, California. I mean, I love my home state and all, but fucking politically, and I'm not saying I'm a Republican by any means. I'm also not saying I'm a Democrat by any means. But you look at 2003, 2004. We outed our governor and put Arnold Schwarzenegger in to take his place. Yep.
Who promptly had a sex scandal with the maid.
Right.
Ugly maid, no less.
Right. Fucking paisa. He's fucking the help. Anyway, so yeah, they replaced him with Arnold Schwarzenegger in an election that had Mary Carey, Gary Coleman.
God.
Just, I'm like, wow, this is a joke.
I think I blocked all this out, I think, because I forgot about Gary Coleman and Mary Carey.
Yeah, and Mary Carey's running again in this one, and Gary Coleman would too, except he's dead.
Well, that little issue.
Just that little detail. All right, let me see this.
Primo, I can't see.
Recall election. Was it 2003 or 2004? It was it was 2003. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Ariana Huffington from the Huffington Post. Larry Flint. Gary Coleman, Mary Carey. Let's see. Who else on here was... Who the fuck is this person? No, don't know who that is. But it was just a bunch of people who just wanted to pay money to be on the ballot to be governor of California.
Well, yeah, it's that easy, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is pay enough. I mean, and look at what you guys got right now. You got Caitlyn, don't call me Bruce Jenner, who I still say that if she says that felt like she was a woman always trapped in a man's body, she should be stripped of her Olympic gold medals. That's just me. A woman competing in a man's sport, nope, strip her. But I just
bullying an American hero.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of funny though that an obviously open transgender person is a staunch Republican, and a lot of staunch Republicans not into those type of people.
Well, there's a couple guys. I mean, there's like it's also like the black folks that are standing for Trump.
Speed.
Are we okay? Can I keep going or okay? No, but there's a whole collection of I guess commentators, journalists, I suppose, that are African American and support Trump or at the very least are staunch Republicans. A lot of African Americans that are former cops, former soldiers, former military experience, stuff like that. So I mean, the Republican Party has its people on board as well. They're ethnic people. There's a big Republican section that is Latino. lot of immigrants, a lot of Filipino immigrants, a lot of first generation Americans do turn conservative or turn at least lean towards that side a lot more than than you would think. So it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, for sure, the level of mental gymnastics to be like Brandon, I think his name is Brandon Tatum, is like a former cop, and he's a huge Republican advocate and all that. And it's odd to see. I mean, I don't how much of that is like psychological ops, right? Like, let's okay, we need to have a African American on our side, or we need to have somebody representing our values that is of that ethnicity or of that culture.
Right.
It's the culture wars, right?
Yeah, yeah. But so, who do you think could be the favorite there?
In the governor race?
Yeah. Do you think that Don't Call Me Bruce Jenner actually has a legit shot of winning?
I highly doubt it, just because of what we're just talking about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do. California or San Diego, California as a whole has a lot of Republican support. It's a largely Republican state. San Diego is a military town, huge bases and training centers here and stuff like that. So the contradictions for Caitlyn Jenner, I don't see hardcore Republicans buying that, and I don't see hardcore liberals buying that either. So, I mean, as with any election, you never know. I mean, we did elect the governor, so
right.
So who knows? But I think by and large the state probably sticks with Newsom. Who else is running? I don't even know who else is running. So there's that. I am certainly not the most informed.
Let's
person
see here.
to be asking.
All right, 2021 recall election.
But then again, if you're taking political takes from this show, then you've got big reasons.
Right. All right, so let's see. Okay, so qualified candidates. Let's see if anyone... Larry Elder.
Oh, he's one of those guys. He's like, I've seen him come up on Facebook, and it's about like proving white supremacy and all that stuff. So basically, just total opposite of the liberal or whatever's going on right
now. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer.
Wow, he's running again, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't he have a couple scandals too?
Faulconer? I think he took over for someone who had scandals. I don't know if he had scandals of his own.
I don't particularly remember him being well loved.
Oh. Bruce, Don't Call Me Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, yeah, the other way around. Bruce, Caitlyn, Don't Call Me Bruce Jenner. Leo Zaki, the former vice president of Zaki Farms. Chicken guy. Nice. Let's see. Slim Killins, who's listed as a pastor.
Slim Killins.
Yeah.
Huh? Boy.
Heather Collins, who's a hairstylist.
I'm gonna run, but I'll run as Pork Chitlins. How about that?
Dennis Richter, a Walmart employee.
Fantastic.
Disqualified. Mary Carey.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
There's a guy in North Park, I believe, that like lives in a van and has like a bunch of political signs and everything. And, like every year or every election, he runs for something.
Yeah.
Including mayor and governor and all that, and of course, it's just one of those quirky things, California things. I don't,
Someone who was disqualified was Louis Marinelli, who's the guy who was the big guy who was always behind the secession of California into 3 different republics. So yeah, California, gotta love it.
That comes up every couple of years. Oh, secession. I mean, for California and for Texas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it's always just so funny. Like, oh, we were the Republic of Texas.
So, I mean, who really stands a chance of winning that?
Exactly. You know, yeah. I mean, because it's going to be held in the same way. It's going to be held in the same way that the 2003 was. There's going to be two questions. A, should Governor Newsom be relieved of his duties as California governor? And B, who should replace him? So if A doesn't get 50%, B doesn't matter, but you have to answer them both.
Yep. So, we're fucked perpetually. Seems.
But yeah, so political climate, good shit.
Yeah. So I don't think I've asked you this before, but the I am wood thing in the background, what's that about?
Okay, so one day,
I think I noticed it like halfway through the first podcast.
so
It's been on my little list ever since.
one day, me and a couple people who used to work with me, Adam, who worked at my job much longer than I did, and this girl named Kira, we were bored, and so we found this piece of plywood back there, and we painted a target on it, and I put on there, I am wood, and we were throwing bingo dabbers at it to see who could who could come closest to hitting the bullseye. And I actually recorded it. Well, mine hit the bottom. Kira's hit the middle, and Adam actually bounced his off the ground and splattered all over the place.
So there's no intentional design, because I kept thinking that looks like a bird or like a camel or something. I'm like, what's going on there?
Nope. All that was that the big spot in the middle where you see the caricature. That's where a dabber landed, and
Nice.
the rest of it was fucking splattered from Adam's bounce off the ground. And oh my god, like it was obviously it was blue, and the ground in the warehouse is concrete, so it seeped in, soaked up really quickly, and of course we played stupid, like we don't know what happened.
Right. And hopefully your boss doesn't listen to this, right?
He'll never listen to this. The chances of him on social media are like 0. But yeah, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go put that in my fucking house.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The paper.
What, buddy?
Someone fold the paper.
What paper?
The mouse.
Okay, buddy.
I think I'd probably get murdered if I tried to put something like that up in the house.
Well, that's why I have my own area, because this is my area.
Yeah, my area is part of the garage, which is fine. I'm absolutely happy and okay with that.
So, I was talking to the broad I married last night, and I made mention of Vader, and she's like, oh, Vader's probably gone by now, right? And I showed her the picture I took in April. I said, no, he's an old man, but he's still very alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks for killing off Primo's dog. I'm like, he was a puppy when I left, but no, he's still alive.
So he has his yearly checkup coming up in August. But he was seen last year and given a tip-top shape, absolutely clean bill of health. We did labs, we did everything. We got a flea treatment going. So yeah, I mean he's doing as good as he could be for his age. He also doesn't need it yet, but preemptively I'm giving him CBD, small doses of CBD for his joints, and to keep him healthy. And I mean those dogs, both of these dogs get treated pretty royally. They get fish oil supplements. They get glucosamine and chondroitin for their joints as well. They get pretty decent food. I don't buy like the most expensive kind, but grain free and decent dog food. So yeah, I mean I think he'll be with us for quite a while.
Yeah. That's good.
He's a healthy boy. Never had really any issues with him.
All right, so let's
In
see.
case you cared about my dog's health. There it is. I love it. Well, see, this is weird. This is what we did. Remember last time that we had done this? Like there was a natural progression where it's kind of started as just you and me like having a conversation.
Yeah. It's really what it is, and we just spiderweb and everything else. And I remember before we recorded the lost episode, you're like, I don't know, blah 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 blah, and like it took 30 seconds for you to just boom 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 boom. It's like, okay, there he is.
Fall back into it. Yeah. It's
I don't know if you wanted to actual talk about.
Other stuff on the list or anything?
Yeah, I'm on the next item.
Oh, I'm good. We can skip that one.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Are you good on coronavirus? Like, how's that going for you?
Well, now that we're dealing with the Delta variant, places are going back to mandatory masks.
Were people wearing masks in your county or?
Well, the thing about Connecticut is we have 6 counties.
Oh, right. We talked about this a little bit last time.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe either 5 of 6 or all 6 now have fallen into the CDC's highly transmissible thing. Uncle Ned still hasn't made anything official yet, but about bringing back mask mandates or anything of that nature. But like,
yeah,
I know Walmart is starting to make people wear masks again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then some places like, my line of work, the bingo halls, they're going to probably bring back those masks. The social clubs are definitely not, because they hate those goddamn things anyway. Because most of the social clubs I deal with have bars, and, they let people smoke in them because they're social clubs. So they're not going to require masks.
Oh, you guys have indoor smoking still?
No, not on a public level, but in social clubs, you can.
Wow.
Yeah, the social clubs have basically they have something that basically says, "Hey, we're our own little entity."
Yeah.
You can't tell us that we can't have people smoke in our house.
I think that's how comedians get away with it, right? Like Dave Chappelle is one of them.
Yeah.
He smokes on stage as it's like part of. It's not really part of his act, but that's how they get it. That's a loophole that they use to get through it, right? Like
right.
Theatrical performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So I hate making deliveries to those places for obvious reasons. So it's like, fuck. But no, I mean, personally, it hasn't affected me at all. I am now fully vaccinated. I got my clot shot 2.5 weeks ago.
Nice.
And it was nothing. It was really nothing.
Yeah.
Bless you, buddy.
I just had a little bit of flu symptoms after my second one, but nothing crazy.
My arm near my shoulder was a little weak, but that was it.
Yeah.
But it's like, yay, I'm completely vaccinated, so I can do whatever now. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, it's like Los Angeles County, like, oh, even regardless of your vaccination status, if you're indoors, you have to be wearing a mask. What?
I think it's fine. I've been wearing my mask the whole time. Again, I work in somewhat in the medical field, so it's different standards, and that's been really stressful because we're a small to mid-level health center, and it's I mean, there's not. How should I put this? I mean, it's not like it's John Hopkins, right?
Right.
Like, we don't have that type of, I guess, leadership or structure or organization. I mean, we're just kind of adjusting on the fly and making decisions. And, at this point, we've done a really good job. I think it's been pretty incredible. But some of what it is, it's the uncertainty, right? And then the constantly changing levels of regulations and things like that. And so getting that from the nursing directors and medical people and getting that down to the, face-to-face, day-to-day level people isn't always the most efficient. But having said that, I love the place. I love the place I work, and but it has been stressful dealing with coronavirus. So,
Yeah.
and that really was part of the part of what led me to kind of seek this out and kind of come back to this.
You know, I'm the only person in my house who doesn't wear glasses.
Hello.
Hello, Oliver.
Have you got him training in archery yet?
That'll be next.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's a really cool hobby. There's actually an archery
So
range
you
near
gotta
here.
wear
But,
headphones.
I don't know. It's a random cool hobby. Hopefully, I'm older, I'll be able to get into that because I sure as shit don't have time for that now.
So, something I wanted to loop back to because
Yeah.
I noticed you threw it around like it was nothing.
Oh no.
Did I miss something officially, or is it because you've been together so long
What?
that you're throwing around the wife word?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I thought we had.
Because if I missed something officially, I better get an explanation on why I wasn't notified.
No, we're just fucking weird and awkward and having a hard time with that whole thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, no, we're I guess engaged to be married, and but
You guess?
the thing is, no. What I'm saying is the thing is, there's all these rules like I wasn't even aware of, right? Like you're not even supposed to wear your ring until you're actually married, and I just started wearing it from the moment I got it.
I've been married for 5 years.
Right. Oh, really? Damn. That's cold.
That's truth.
Yeah, that's cold, man. That's tough. Oh, wow. Yeah. I thought you had a ring.
I had 2.
What happened now?
I threw them both away.
Oh, shit.
One of them I purchased after I came back.
Damn.
Tells you where I'm at.
Yeah, that's fucking rough. Whew.
Yeah, I'll finish telling that story offline.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. What the fuck? I don't even know what I was saying anymore.
No, but because you said the word a few times, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I really can't get mad at him if something's official and I wasn't invited, because there might have been a circumstance. Like, hey, we went and got married in a drive-thru in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Well, that's actually been talked about, so that might be a thing. I mean, I don't know, man.
Let me just put this out there, and this is no pressure on you because it's your moment.
Yeah.
But if you have advance notice and you want me to be there, I will move a fucking mountain to be there.
I know. That's cool. Thank you. I know that. I think that's tough for both of us, the whole, expectation, and she's getting a lot of stuff from her family and all that. And I think for us, I think it's a personal, private thing, and I would really like for it to be just, just her, me, and the kids. And
of course, if you don't want me there, you can tell me to fuck off, and I mean that's cool too. No, I get that. No, I get that. Like I said, it's your moment. It's like, hey, if you want it to be just you guys, great, cool. Who am I to say anything?
And then afterwards, do a thing for all those people.
Yeah.
We're not very traditional people. We don't have that thing of we have to have this type of wedding or that. We're absolutely happy just either going down to the courthouse or going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
I love you too, Oliver.
And having a little, we're national citizens, so we have a little backyard boogie or a little little get together with a taco guy or something like that.
Right.
I don't think we're doing anything bigger. But the other side of this is also, we've been together for a long time. I've thought of her as my wife for a long time. Obviously now, we have the rings and we're very committed to each other, and it's all, it just makes sense to me. I'm comfortable calling her.
Now, I probably have been told the answer to this, and if I have and I forgot, hey, I'll blame the old man, the the old man brain and the concussions.
Right.
Is she older than I am?
How old are you?
40.
Hey,
I think she's like a year or two older. I don't even remember how old she is.
I love her. I don't remember how old she is.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense to me. I mean, well, you know, also from my
You don't even know what hospital you were born at.
no, from my background growing up. Yeah, I don't. The dates and details
got you, criminal.
was ingrained in me.
I
So
got
it
you.
Out.
was never a thing. So I didn't get those.
Yeah.
I didn't get that programming. So yeah, I mean, it's just you know, as soon as we announced it, or as soon as we, you know, people saw
I like that. As soon as we announced it, guess what? Guess who didn't hear about that?
Well, the thing is, we really didn't announce it. It just kind of like people at work started noticing that I was wearing my ring.
Yeah.
We didn't tell her parents. They just one day we visited, and it took about a day and a half for her mom to notice that she was wearing a ring.
Yeah.
And that's how we broke it. You know, like I don't know. I don't know why, but to me it's not that big a deal. I don't know. Marriages, I have a lot of weird stuff connected to weddings and all that. And then, you know, my parents' wedding, or not wedding, but my parents' marriage wasn't ideal. Her parents' marriage wasn't, you know. So it's just kind of a, como se dice, kind of trying to avoid all the regular stuff that you think of when you think of a wedding.
Right.
You know, I think for us, it comes down to us. And we have this connection and this little thing between us that is, you know, super important. And we want to just be together, the four of us, and kind of celebrate that. And then have a little backyard boogie, and a little party for our close friends. I mean, I don't have any need, and she doesn't have any need for a big wedding, you know?
Yeah.
And we're also older. We're the age that we're at. I mean, any money that we were to spend on a wedding would be much, much more well saved for you know, either buying a house or something.
I think I spent more money on my lunch the day after I got married than I spent on my wedding.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's what we're doing. Obviously, any kind of party or event or anything, of course, we're excited. But yeah, we're not big on the whole big theatrics of it, you know.
I'm going to find you. I'm going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Under that.
That's that.
Come. Hey.
But the thing that was surprising to me is I guess I did a good job on her ring. As you know, I'm probably the last person that would ever you don't want me picking jewelry. I don't know anything about it.
Death, destruction.
Yeah, right. It's like a like a silver pewter pentagram ring. So yeah, no, I browsed Etsy for like a solid month. You know, and I got that specially made box with our names carved in it and all that. And found a ring maker in Australia that had a really good price on a ring. And I don't know, I just thought about it real hard, and that one kind of jumped out to me. So that was it. You know, she loved it. Her mom loved it. And, you know, surprised. It's just one of those things. I'm surprised that I did good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole build up to it was, you know, it's nerve wracking. It's tough, you know. But yeah, I mean, there was never any doubt about it, you know, for me. That we were gonna get married.
Then go use the bathroom. My kids.
Glad it all worked out.
My kids fucking make me think that I think that they're prisoners. I need to go use the bathroom. Then go use the bathroom. Straight Shawshank Redemption in here. You don't have to ask me every time you need to take a piss.
Father, may I?
Please go use the bathroom, because I'd rather you use the bathroom.
How are they doing?
The kids?
They're out of school right now, right?
Yeah, David's last day of summer school was on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So Oliver starts kindergarten on the 30th.
Okay.
And I
You got
think
him.
David starts 3rd grade on the 5th of September.
Oliver, you're gonna have kindergarten, right?
And just like that, or it's like almost another year gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fucking the fact that Oliver's actually starting kindergarten is like, oy.
Yeah.
You know, he spent 2 years in pre-K, and David's going into 3rd grade now. And I mentioned it the other day to Tina. It's like, wow, 3rd grade is basically where I started figuring out who I kind of was. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it was basically always known from the time I was little until even through before kindergarten and kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, that I was pretty intelligent. And it was 3rd grade to where it's like I started to understand I'm the smartest kid in school. And that's when I really started getting into, you know, academic competitions and, you know, things like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, and David's going into 3rd grade now, and Oliver's going into kindergarten, and both of them are smart as fuck.
Yeah.
What?
Can we have McDonald's?
We'll see about it. It's not dinner time yet.
Okay.
Wanted to ask you so obviously media is big for both of us, right? We both consume movies, music,
Oh, yeah.
podcasts.
Yes, I listened to a few of them. I'm been stuck on one because it's a niche. It's not necessarily a niche. It is, and still kind of is. But back on the topics they're discussing was a huge passion of mine, and it's called 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff. It's a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
And they go over all the fucking time in the early to late 90s and the early 2000s about WCW versus WWF.
I always liked Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and I fucking love listening to that. It's like, that's what I listen to in the car. It's what I listen to at work. And the only time I'm not listening to that when I'm out somewhere is if I'm not the only person in the car.
Yeah. Okay. And how about books? Are you reading any place in your life?
No, well, they do. I try and make room for them.
Yeah. It's tough, right?
I've read both of Chael Sonnen's books.
Oh yeah.
I've read the first 2 Forrest Griffin books. I haven't read the 3rd one yet. I read front to back twice in the past couple years, just because I'm interested in the whole story behind it. I read Into the Wild front to back.
Into the Wild?
Yes.
Jack Lemmon or the no, that's
Jack Lemmon?
Jack London.
Yes, Jack London.
That's that one, or the one about the kid that
The one about the kid, the guy who got eaten by the bear.
Yeah, McCandless.
Something like that. I was always interested in that story because it's like, you know, they always show pictures, and even Tina showed me a picture like, oh, look at this leopard, and you know, she loves her owner and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, you need to go watch Into the Wild, or you need to go read Into the Wild.
You're talking about the bear?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what book you're talking about then.
Okay, it was.
I gotta pull it up.
Hold on.
Because I know the modern one about Christopher McCandless.
Yeah, it was Christopher McCandless.
Oh, I don't remember the story about the bear, but he died in the school bus in the middle of nowhere, right? In the woods.
Oh, okay, then you know what? I might be mixing up my stories.
Grizzly Man, right?
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was...
That's Werner Herzog. It's a movie documentary directed by Werner Herzog.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you're saying that, yeah.
That guy was weird. I didn't know there was a book though. But yeah, apparently, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right.
Yeah,
person.
Timothy Treadwell. The story about Timothy Treadwell.
Yeah, there's audio and I believe video of him actually being consumed by a bear. I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's ever seen it. Like I think Werner Herzog has seen it. and I don't know who else.
Yeah, I think there was footage that like basically a couple or a few people saw, and it's like, okay, yeah, this ain't getting shown to anyone else.
No, I think they destroyed it.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. That guy was a weirdo, though. I mean, he had some issues going on. I mean, you'd have to be, right, to do that, everything that he did out there.
Yeah, I had my shit mixed up because, I was thinking, because you said, I said Into the Wild and fucking thinking I'm like blah, 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 blah. And you were thinking about the Jack London book. That's actually Call of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I
went with Jack Lemmon first.
and then you went Jack Lemmon. Like, no, that's a comedian.
But have you read Into the Wild or seen the movie? Because that's a good one.
No. No, I think I read basically a Cliff Notes version of it, but I don't think I've seen the movie or read the book, or if it is based on a book.
It's based on a book.
Okay.
You might like the soundtrack too. It's like I believe it's like 100% acoustic, but
okay,
it's
cool.
Eddie Vedder.
It's all Eddie Vedder? Oh shit.
Yeah. It's a really good soundtrack. You might like that. There's another one that I was looking at recently. The guy that was hiking in Arizona or something, and he ended up having to like cut off his
28 and a half days or some shit.
Something like that.
Yeah.
With like a like a Swiss Army knife or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nutty. Dudes are nutty.
Yeah, that was who the fuck played the lead in that movie? Was it?
I don't recall.
Oh, it was it wasn't. Was it Bradley Cooper or was it someone else? I'm trying to think of.
I don't remember. But the reason I bring it up is because this not stupid, but this glorious tablet that I purchased recently has gotten me back into reading. I have the Kindle app on there. And,
yeah.
I mean, it's such a difference, the size of it compared to the phone, because I have the reader on the phone, like pretty much everybody does these days. But the difference of reading it on your phone and that little screen and the tablet, I mean, the tablet just feels so much better.
127 hours, it's called.
127.
Yeah.
Okay. And that dude lived, I believe.
Yes.
The Into the Wild guy, surprise.
I'm gonna get friendly with bears.
Yeah, that guy.
But no, like, and I have the Kindle app as well. I've also been trying to get into more comics as well. Especially the Power Rangers story arc where they had this character.
Power Rangers comic.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, they have this character who's like Thanos, but basically just single-handedly destroying everything the Power Rangers love. His name's Lord Drakon, and he's basically what he is he's the original Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver, if Tommy Oliver never went good. And it's like
posted a video about the Green Ranger recently.
Yeah. Forget Thanos, and no one will ever realize how much stress we went through watching the Green Ranger fuck the Power Rangers up for 5 episodes. But I've also been. I wish I had more money right now. Unfortunately, I don't. But right now, something I've always wanted physically, and maybe before I die, I'll have them physically, is. Back in the early to mid 2000s, they started releasing the complete Peanuts collection, volume by volume.
Wow.
And right now, like, I want the physical collection. I'd love to have the physical collection. That's
how many?
Hello, Dad. Hello, Dad.
I think it's 29. Hello, Oliver.
And you want that in physical format?
I would love to have it across the fucking one of my shelves. Like an encyclopedia set. I would love to have it across one of my shelves. But right now, the Kindle versions of them are all on sale per volume for $10 each.
Wow.
And I've already got the first 2. I bought them at full price when they were like 20. Right now they're $10 each. I'm like, why the fuck can't I have any money right now?
So that's tough, though. It's a big difference,
Yeah, I mean, because like I'd love to get them, digitally, so that way I have them.
Yeah.
But I want them physically because like I would love to go through and physically read them all.
Sure, but that's like, what are we talking? Like a $600-700 investment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think each volume, paper wise is still like $30.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for Bill Watterson, because I have his entire collected works, every strip of Calvin and Hobbes, and it's I mean it's thick,
Yeah.
it's a big volume, but it all fits in one volume.
Oh, nice.
Because he quit and then like kind of went into isolation for a long time. Yeah, so he had an abbreviated career, whereas Charles Schulz, kept it going for much longer.
Yeah, there was something the other day. There was a little meme that said, "Which celebrity death hits you the hardest?" And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, there's 3 I can think of that really hit me hard, but which one hit me the hardest? And barely, Alex Trebek was number 1. Alex Trebek was number 1. Charles Schulz was number 2, and Kevin Green was number 3.
What's Kevin Green?
Kevin Green was my favorite football player, like ever. He's the reason I got as hardcore into football as I did. He's the reason I love the linebacker position.
Crazy.
He's a crazy fucker, and he died hella young.
Well, it's funny because that's why I became a Chicago Bears fan, because it was the era of Brian Urlacher. It was they're probably their best linebacker ever.
Yeah. And then like Kevin Green's one of the main reasons I became a Panther fan.
Yeah.
Is because the first year came and it's like, okay, I like this team. They picked up a lot of people from Pittsburgh in the expansion draft, and then Kevin Green signs with them year 2. It's like, okay, I'll pay more attention now, and been a fan ever since.
So it's funny. I can only think of one celebrity death that even affected me at all. It kind of bummed me out.
What, Ryan James Dio?
I wish. No, Anthony Bourdain for me.
Really?
Yeah, I love that guy, and his books and that show. I mean, yeah, I love that show.
Wow.
Yeah. And it really bummed me out how he died.
Yeah.
That's a real big one. Yeah, I hated that it happened that way, and I think I really didn't believe that he would do that, and yeah, that was a tough one. That was the only one that has really bummed me out, really. So.
Yeah, I mean the Alex Trebek thing. And someone made a perfect mention of it. That Alex Trebek was usually an unspoken connection between people and their parents or grandparents. It's like, oh fuck yeah.
I can see that.
Me and my grandfather every night at 7:30 watching Jeopardy.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even think about that. And then me and my boys every night out here at 7:00 watching Jeopardy. In fact, David yesterday they aired a rerun of it, and he comes in. We're sitting here, Daddy, Alex Trebek's on TV. I'm like, what?
Aww.
I'm like, oh fuck, they're showing a rerun. I'm like, yeah, buddy, Alex Trebek's on TV because he knows that Alex Trebek got sick and isn't with us anymore.
Yeah. So who does the show now?
It's all been guest hosts for the past season, and the guest host that just finished was LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton fucking like wanted that position, and he finally got the guest position on it, and he wasn't that good.
Oh no,
he was. You know what? Give him a few months to settle into the role, and he could be really good at it.
Yeah.
But there was times he was delayed on his calls, and like because a contestant would ring in, and it'd be a solid 2 to 3 seconds before he called on him.
Huh.
And like someone pointed out that he was his reading rainbow personality, like not uppity, but uppy and high, like really upbeat.
High energy.
Yeah.
Upbeat.
Yeah. And someone said he'd be better off hosting a kids game show. It's like, well, yeah. But I mean, I think give him a solid month to fit into that and and find his rhythm. He could be really good at it. But unfortunately, I was really hoping for the best with him, and the first couple days, like,
yeah.
But he finished out the week strong.
So they're doing a week at a time. For guest
Yeah,
hosts.
like usually they were doing 2 weeks, and then like for the last few they've been doing one. Aaron Rodgers was interesting.
I was just gonna mention that. Yeah, I heard he was. People were saying like, yeah, hire him.
Aaron Rodgers was kind of a little like, because most of his talking was done at this register, but he did show some humor, and he like everyone's expecting Alex Trebek. You're not gonna get it.
Yeah, no. For sure.
I think my personal favorites so far have been Ken Jennings. I liked. George Stephanopoulos was good.
Weird. Interesting.
I did not like Sanjay Gupta. Mike Richards was great, but Mike Richards has also been a game show host before. Mike Richards is the EP of Jeopardy, and he was the third guest. He was either third or second guest host.
Yeah.
Because they like Ken Jennings was going to go for longer, but they brought back to America the series The Chase, and him like they brought for the new Chase that's in the States. They, instead of putting them against either Mark the Beast Labette, like they did with the original American version, or the British version where they'll put them against 5 people, they actually brought back Ken Jennings, Brad Rutter, and James Holzhauer, the 3 biggest Jeopardy winners, period. And they brought them in as the chasers. And I fucking love that show. I've loved every incarnation of that show. And then this season, for the American version, they brought back Mark Labette. And what they do now is the one chaser goes out there and he's facing the contestants, and the other 3 are backstage talking shit. And they show him talk shit. It's so great.
Yeah, they broadcast that part.
Yeah. But yeah, so like they've had like, you know what? Let me pull up the list of guest hosts, because it is an interesting list.
So going back to our opening topic, the shit that women watch on TV. Holy shit! I had no idea. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. And I'm not complaining. But it's a totally different thing. It's dudes have their man dramas too and all that.
Yeah, professional wrestling.
Yeah, but Law and Order for me, true crime documentaries for me, but it's just interesting. The amount of reality TV that I've watched since I've been with her is, I've had to adjust to that.
So what does she watch? Because I mean, okay. How about this? Let's play a little game, okay?
Yeah.
You name one thing that your wife watches, and I will name one thing my wife watches, and then we'll go back and forth.
Let's also consider this, that there's also a 11-year-old female in the house.
Okay.
So that kind of, it's interesting. So let's do that, but keep in mind that there's two against one here.
Okay.
So they love what is the RuPaul show?
Drag Race.
Yeah.
Okay. Tina likes My 600-Pound Life.
Oh yeah.
Which I call My 600-Pound Wife.
Nice. I'm sure she loves that.
Yeah. But she also I know I'm jumping out of turn here, but I might as well say it since they're related. She also likes the 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Oh, okay. So I think she just watched the Sisters one is the one that she was watching.
Okay.
I don't know. We might have watched the other one too. But I know we watched like the whole saga of those 2 sisters that are disgusting human beings.
Yes.
So the Real Housewives series, Atlanta, whatever, all those places
are. Let's see. Tina watches a lot of Dr. Phil. I'm Dr. Phil.
Oh, really? I didn't even know he was still on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still doing his shit. But unfortunately, Oprah Winfrey Network's part of our YouTube TV package, so she watches like all the reruns.
All that shit. Oh, she loves Oprah.
I don't think she likes Oprah. No? Probably because she's black. Because my wife is racist, but she heard me say it, she'd be so pissed. She's like, I'm not a racist. I mean, just because you've had 2 black people in your house does not mean that you're not racist.
Yankee from Connecticut.
Yeah, but fucking her grandparents were from Kentucky, and as was her father.
Oh wow.
She's got that America blood in her.
Yeah, sure. What was the Shahs of Sunset is popular right now.
What's that on?
It's just like I think they're like I don't know, they're like Middle Eastern families, and they have a bit of money, so cameras follow them around, and they're all like, super dramatic and fighting with each other. And all they do, it's just like rich people that go out to dinner all the time, and then they just have arguments and make shit up to be upset about. Basically, any show that's that format, all over it.
Hey, you know what? I like you mentioned the Real Housewives or whatever, but you know what?
Yeah.
You give me like continuous episodes of rich uppity bitches flipping tables, and I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
I don't know.
Especially that one that the really famous one, the one that started it all. She like went to jail recently or something.
I don't know their
It's
names.
she's like Guarati, or she's like from New Jersey or some shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a whole series. There's like the Real Housewives of all these different cities.
Yeah.
All that shit.
And
They watch a lot of
my superheroes in the
Survivor.
background. Survivor.
A lot of Survivor.
Huh.
Lots of what's that one? The show where they travel around the world.
The Amazing Race.
Yeah. And those are like the more tolerable ones for me. But 90 Day Fiance, that whole thing.
They did a spin-off, and I'm pretty sure since they watched 90 Day Fiance, they've probably when I say they, I mean you have probably ended up watching it because they watched it.
Oh,
But the blonde twin sisters,
Yep.
those bitches live 10 miles from here.
Oh no way.
Middletown, Connecticut.
Yeah. So there's enough content from that main show to like spark the whole network. You know?
Yeah.
There's like a ton of side shows. So yeah, we watch all those.
See, I pay for and subscribe to Discovery Plus for her.
Hello, Dad.
Sure.
Hello, Oliver.
Oliver, give me a hug. Hug?
And so
Oh, I love you. Dude, let's go back in the
he's got a cape.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just need fake microphones. Airbrush.
and a milk crate. By the way, I just recently rediscovered Man on the Silver Mountain, and I fucking listen to it all the time now.
Like the actual song?
The actual song. I'm like, this song is so underappreciated.
Oh, a lot of it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great music to like work out to or get yourself pumped up, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't listen to that song without picturing him like on a
The milk crate.
yeah, like on a really jazzy, well decorated milk crate. There's like there's like lights coming out of it. I mean, but still, it's a milk crate.
Oh, wait. David! Come here.
One second, Oliver.
I have to show you.
Yeah.
I have to show you that I have officially succeeded at parenting.
Whew.
David,
What is it?
come over here. Do that. Show the camera.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I'll do a magic trick.
You're gonna do a magic trick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Magic. Magic. Egg. Turn into a magic card. Boom! It's a magic one.
Yeah. He disappeared. So yeah, part of that whole deal, I mean, like I said, like if we're all in the family room or in the living room watching TV, we've got an 11-year-old, that can't watch all the stuff that we watch. So
Magic trick.
Okay, Oliver, go play.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go play. Let's go play.
so yeah, that's how I end up watching a lot of that because I mean, what else are you gonna watch?
Yeah. No, lately I've been watching the Olympics, and if I got
Oh,
control,
you have, man.
yeah.
Yeah. How's that?
I wish I could watch more of it, but like because of the time difference, I don't like watching the things on tape delay. because
Yeah.
internet has ruined everything. I like watching them live, and
It's
right now with the
conversation to have.
yeah, and with the time difference and the fact that I actually have responsibilities, it's like shit. I couldn't watch judo live. I couldn't watch taekwondo live. I watched the skateboarding live, and they got to be doing the sport climbing soon.
Is this the first time that skateboarding has been in?
Yes.
Okay. Was it interesting?
The street competition, it was like it's really cool that these athletes are on the Olympic level now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was really disappointed that Nigel Houston came in 7th.
Ooh. Well, inaugural Olympics.
Yeah. But what can you do? But yeah, I mean I like trampoline's always interesting to watch.
Yeah, I like the Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah.
What is it called? Is it decathlon, or they do the shot put and the?
Well, they have
long jump?
they have the decathlon, and they also have the heptathlon.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Decathlon has 4 more events, 3 more events, 4 more events. Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it this year. I just haven't really. But this is, I don't know, it's a weird time. I haven't even thought about it, honestly.
Yeah, and
When I was a kid, I definitely watched for sure.
Yeah, and the fact that they're like it's still kind of I wouldn't say off-putting. It's not the word I'm looking for, but the fact that they're still calling them the Tokyo 2020 games, and it's like we're in 2021 now. I understand it's a branding issue, but it's just so weird that UEFA still called their tournament the 2020 tournament and shit like that. How a mother escaped a dangerous sex trafficking network. The news stories that pop up fucking on my shit sometimes.
Well, I was going through Google News yesterday, and it was just, story after story of like shooting and these horrible people killing each other and abuse. This is just like a long string of horrible shit.
Yeah.
None of that is worth talking about.
No.
I don't think. It's just shit that's reported, and there's no conclusion to it. I mean, there's no follow-up. So.
Yeah, I mean that's why when we decided to actually get on a episodic, shall we say, schedule again, it's like, okay, you know what? If there's something cool to talk about in the news, great.
Yeah.
But reporting on news, reporting on MMA, it's like there's either too much of it or it's not cool enough. It's like, fuck it, let's just have talks.
You just gotta have something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just ended up pulling like one article.
We didn't even cover it. Unless that was like that. Was that part of the homelessness thing?
Yeah, we talked about that. So.
Okay, I didn't realize the article was part of it. I thought the article was something else.
Yeah, that's where. And I mean, we knew this was coming, right? Like it's been this whole time. It's been. Are they going to renew it? All of the sources of aid, be it unemployment or the eviction moratorium or all the other, like the food giveaways. I mean, you haven't given away this much food since post-Depression America, really.
Yeah.
Probably. The amount of food banks and the food distribution areas that sprung up, at least here in San Diego, was pretty incredible. But I mean, it's we've been through so much with the pandemic, and now it's like that transition back to normalcy. And I think a lot of people thought the transition to normalcy was going to be a lot quicker than it has been. So.
And then, and it's kind of funny. It's not real funny because it's affected me not directly, but it has affected me personally. I was trying to find an employee to come work at my job.
Right.
And in the state of Connecticut, our minimum wage is not as high as it is in California. But for what we do, we were offering to start $15 an hour. Yeah. And our environment is pretty fucking cush for $15 an hour. And I couldn't find anybody. The one person we actually interviewed fucking totally flaked on us. It's like, seriously?
Yeah.
That's like, you guys are going to be fucked come September when...
You got some backyard wrestling going on?
These people are going to be seriously screwed in September when all that extra money goes away.
Yeah.
And now with the Delta variant coming out, it's like, okay, well, you know what Congress is not going to do? They're not going to be giving out any more stimulus money.
Maybe, I don't know. I heard something about a September check coming.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I mean, as parents, we already are getting the extra check for having the kids,
Right.
and all that is just an advancement of your child tax credit for your following tax year. But they doubled the tax credit for the following year, so it's like you're not really losing anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to read up more on it, but I believe I saw something. Maybe we can talk about that next time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. What do you think? You want to call it here?
Yeah. I've been recording for 2 hours and 45 minutes now.
Oh,
And
wow.
I started recording probably about a half an hour before we jumped on, so
Okay.
we're above 2 hours now. Like I said, if I was to talk about that first thing in my life, 2 hours an episode, 1 episode a month, yeah, we'll be here a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a part of our lives, and it's always going to be a thing that, check in and talk about.
Yeah, and I need this thing down here to be more of a part of my life very soon.
Yeah.
David seems to think we're going to be out there again in April, so it's like, okay, well, because he's like, April 2022, I'm like, buddy, we'll see. That was an expensive trip.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
As long as you're okay and we're all okay, and keep checking in, and that's all we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone, however many of you,
1.5 listeners.
who tuned in live and will watch it afterwards, thank you for tuning in. Again, that's who we are.
We got Diego as a listener, right? And,
Diego and Reese's.
and Reese's.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll let you know when the next time is, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Well,
Whee. And there go my boys destroying shit in the living room. All right, man. I'll catch up to you later.
all right, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.